Hello, I'm Rosée de Langrel-Zamer. I'm doing the coordination of international project at the Conservatoire of Paris.
Hello, my name is Ludger Engels. I'm representing the Academy of Performing Arts Baden-Württemberg in Ludwigsburg, Germany, and I'm the artistic director and CEO.
Discussing recommendation for students' employability at national and European level, we had to get together also on common findings, and we found out that there is a crisis in employment everywhere in Europe in all sectors, including the industry. So, of course, our students are suffering for it. It's for us also linked to the fact that the audiences are aging in theatre, and less audiences, less work for the students. And at the moment, most students tend to become freelancers that do not benefit from much permanent position anymore. So it's a moment of crisis in the industry of theatre.
Too many students do have limited access to jobs in the moment. Yes, we see that 3 or 5 students from each academy will get a job, will work in their working fields after they finish their academies. And so the students have to open their working fields. It means that it's not only theaters are interesting, that the film industry is also very important for the students. The academies have to open their curriculars, and most of the academies start doing this to implement acting in front of camera.
At the moment, we find out that most opportunities always are on national territory. The students tend not to have much opportunities abroad. So that's something we need to work on, because many students have a second language and none of them get the opportunity to use it, to work more.
We ask the students, do you have a second language? And if it is so, because in all the academies we realize that teaching language is mostly the language of the country, but many students do have a second language because the mother tongue is not the language of the academy, or they are speaking second language by education. So we ask them use it so that you can work really on several international levels. And also the schools do have the responsibility to open their view Europe-wide or global-wide to search new working fields for the students. Talking about general recommendations, we realized that the curricula needs to evolve in the academies. School needs to prepare the students for theatre and film. There are also in between many interdisciplinary formats, for example, readings, all the digital worlds, the gaming industry. Dubbing, also the podcast industry. We have to find all these points and to implement in curriculars, and to find also partners in the industry who can come to our academies to teach and to make workshops, and so that the network will getting bigger and bigger. And I think in this case we also can or have to find European-wide networks in under the academies, so that we can share experiences and that we can also show us special needs in the countries. So what is fashionable, what is the main focus on?
One of our big recommendations for national or international employability, in fact, is that we need to integrate an administrative formation to the curricula of the actors, so that they have the keys to enter the industry, movie or theatre. And we think that it would be great for them to have workshop on basic needs, such as doing a CV, doing a tape, applying to funds, where to look for these fundings, how to write an intention note, all these keys that would be very useful for them to enter the industry.
Besides this, it's very important to talk about the content of what we are teaching, what do we want to tell in our performances. And this means we have to invite people, we have to educate the students to tell their own stories, to look into their own biographies, what are the stories of my parents and grandparents, and to implement this and to share these stories to other students and hopefully to other countries, to see where do we have common themes.
Yeah. We of course think that with new stories come new audiences, and as one of the big problems is that the audiences are aging, we've reasoned that hiring female directors, ethnic minority director, implement writing classes for these new stories to emerge would create employability for the students in the end, because new audiences will be there to watch them.
Looking to the audience, it's also interesting how to involve the audience in our project, how to get closer to the audience, so that engage local communities, finding partners in schools and free art groups and social institutions.
We think that we also need to implement an international dimension to our training, and this can be done with very basic things, such as encouraging our students to apply to European Students' Festival. For example, Spoleto, Timișoara, there's plenty of students' festival the students could go to, and that would be a first experience in working abroad. Keep on going the collaboration between our school, for sure, with the UTSA network, building new partnership, keep on going with student exchanges. The pilot team we worked on is a first step, but also teachers exchanges.
Hopefully it will be written in the curriculars of all the academies that international working is, yes, it's base of your studies, that all the students do get this information or do have a chance to do. And also the exchange of teachers in the same way is very interesting.
At the moment, we're thinking about dedicating a time in the studies of the student for international partnership and international work. The schools do not know yet what month it will be, which period it would be, but it's something that is ongoing, to have a dedicated period for these partnerships, that the students automatically benefit from a European opportunity.
Yeah. And we, in this case, we also have to think about new strategies for translation.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to translate? Is it that we have to translate in our language, or do we find possibilities through body language to make all people participating?
Yeah.